Race 3 for the Avon Tyres National Formula Ford Championship is about to get underway. It's the highly anticipated reverse grid, which puts Niall Murray all the way in 8th place. But the person on pole position is no stranger to pole, no stranger to winning races, now Neil McLennan. Neil, it's been a pretty dismal weekend for you so far. Where can you go from pole?
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been a very tough weekend for us. It's been up and down, so finally got a bit of luck today. Started 24th there in the second race, but we battled our way through till 8th, so no, I'm happy with that, and to be back on pole again is good, so yeah, good.
You're going to be happy knowing that Niall Murray is all the way back in 8th.
Oh, I'm delighted. But we'll just need to see how it goes. He's very quick around here, so we'll just need to keep our head down and go.
Well, hopefully there's going to be a skirmish behind you and you could just run away with it.
That's what I'm hoping for, yeah. But no, we'll see.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, cheers.
Well, with that, I'll hand you up for the final time to Scott Woodwiss.
So for the third race here at Brands Hatch with the reverse grid, it is McLennan and Bentley Ellis on the front row of the grid, from Jamie Thorburn and Michael Moyes, then Matt Ramgarrido and Michael Eastwell, and Joey Foster and Niall Murray. Foster starting ahead of Murray this time. Then it's Gruber and Brown on row 5 ahead of Rory Smith and Roger Orgy. Thomas Capazone and James Clark start on row 7 ahead of Matt Rivette and Sebastian Job on row 8. Row 9 is Vincent J and John Svensson from Jack Wolfenden and Sebastian Melrose. Daniel O'Byrne and Davide Maloney ahead of Richard Morris and Henry Chart. Some of the fast guys that retired from race 2 are at the back: Josh Smith and Carter Williams, Chris Middlehurst and Pascal Monbaron. And watch for Luke Cooper from the back of the grid on the 15th row alongside Sam Street. So all set for the final race of the weekend. Jack Wolfenden carries an onboard camera, as does Luke Cooper and Niall Murray. The red lights are up and race 3 at Brands Hatch gets underway. Wheel spin start from Thorburn as we go on board with Niall Murray, immediately trying to put the pressure on Michael Eastwell as they charge down towards Paddock Hill, but it's McLennan who leads. Bentley Ellis in second place from Thorburn, then from Moyes, and it's all side by side for 6th place already. There's Foster trying to fend off Murray. We go on board with Luke Cooper up the hill towards it as Murray goes down the outside. He was side by side with Foster. I don't think there was contact, but he's lost one place, he's lost 2. He's going to lose a third one because Eastwell's gone through. Gruber's got his nose in front, but Murray fights back into Graham Hill Bend and it holds the position, so he's down to about 8th, which is where he started in the grid, but he's lost a couple of spots now to Foster, and Eastwell's had a poor start as well. Leading trio all the way through. There's one car off in the background. Sebastian Job rejoins the track after grass tracking before Surtees. Chris Middlehurst has got past, and also he's in the thick of it now. We see Carter Williams and Luke Cooper carving their way through the order already towards the end of the first lap. Leaders cross the line. McLennan from Bentley Ellis, then from Thorburn. Moyes in 4th, and Joe Foster is attacking Matt Ramgarrido for 5th position into Paddock Hill Bend, and he has got through. Now on board with Murray. He's watching his teammate there, Matt Ramgarrido, to the inside, looking to try and get past Foster again, whilst Murray goes down the outside and for the second time goes a little bit wide as Ramgarrido tries to get his elbows out, but Foster has got through, so that's the move confirmed. He's up to 5th position, and Murray just sends one down the inside of Michael Eastwell. If you're going to hang around like that, I'll just slide past you any day of the week. This is Jack Wolfenden battling, I think, with James Clark down the back straight towards Surtees. He has got the inside line, and he does make the place, but Clark will try and fight back in the only McGowan chassis in the field. And he has to look in his mirrors because there goes Sebastian Melrose diving up the inside. He was someone who hit strife in the second race. He's charging back through the order, as is Josh Smith. And look at the leading train now. It's 6th for the lead as Niall Murray tries to get back in the mix as well. In 7th place, Gruber now attacking for 8th on the back of Michael Eastwell into the right-hander at Paddock Hill Bend. It's 3 abreast behind them as Luke Cooper dives up the inside of Carter Williams. These two scything their way up through the field from the back of the grid. And their next target is Sebastian Job in the JMR Scholarship car. They go wheel to wheel with Carter Williams. Williams holding that outside line, but Cooper's got the grip. As we see, Eastwell's lost another place to Rory Smith, and he could lose another one to Roger Orgy. We now ride on board again with Niall Murray. He's chasing after his teammate, Matt Ramgarrido, and both of them are giving Joey Foster the hurry up here. So Eastwell is tumbling his way down through the mid-pack here. He's under threat from Jonathan Brown, the Irishman. Also Matt Rivette's in the mix, and I think also might be Thomas Capazone. There's Niall Murray, right in the slipstream of his teammate. As here comes Neil McLennan. He's lost that to the lead of Hugo Bentley Ellis, but McLennan fires it back down the inside. And also look at Joe Foster. Foster's made contact, and off goes Michael Moyes. Moyes into the gravel trap, and that's his weekend done. But that's now put Niall Murray on his inside. They're almost touching wheels. They interlock. There is contact. Foster gets elbow wide. Foster won't appreciate that one, but he's lost one place. He's going to lose a second one to Ramgarrido as he tries to go around the outside at Graham Hill Bend, and he does it. Well, here's the replay from on board Niall Murray then. Now there's the initial contact. Foster slides, hits the right rear of Moyes. Moyes is a passenger. Off he goes with broken right rear suspension. He goes skating off into the gravel. That's his race done. And then up the inside into the hairpin. There was a faintest tyre rub. He knocks the side pod, then hits the right rear. It's a miracle that Foster doesn't get his suspension torn off. But as a result of that, for the third time in as many races, the safety car appears to be out once again. So that is to recover the stricken car. Yep, there's confirmation at the top of your screen. So Neil McLennan managed to steal the lead back from Hugo Bentley Ellis at exactly the right moment, which is very fortunate. There's another angle of Michael Moyes skating off the road, very deep in the gravel. But even if he hadn't gone that deep, the damage to the back end of that Spectrum would have seen him going absolutely nowhere. So McLennan leads, Bentley Ellis in second place, Thorburn up to third, Noel Murray's into fourth position, then round Garrido and Foster. And there's the car that Foster hit, a very sorry looking dusty Spectrum of Michael Moyes. That's his weekend done. And there's Sebastian Job. He's a little bit further down the order. So he's obviously made a mistake somewhere, or possibly even called into the pits. He's having a very interesting education in Formula Ford. He's steadily making progress and learning with each lap he drives. So it's good to see the JMR scholarship winner building up his confidence. And there's our race leaders following behind the Honda Civic safety car. So again, we are likely to extend the race by another 5 minutes. We're on board with Luke Cooper. He's made some sensational progress up the order since starting at the back of the grid. Started 29th on the back row of the grid. I think he's moved up at least 10 spots. So it shows how much prowess he's got. And he's also very prominent at his home circuit of Castle Combe, because as far as I'm aware, he holds a perfect record there. Every single race he started this season at Castle Combe, he has won it. So when we get to Castle Combe for the next rounds, he is definitely going to be one to watch. He will be a definite favourite for overall victory. Safety car leads them through. Let's confirm the order. So McLennan, Bentley Ellis, then Thorburn. Murray's up to fourth, then round Garrido and Foster, Gruber, Smith, Roger Orgy's up there as well. Eastwell's just outside the top 10. Brown and Rivetta in there as well. Wolfenden's made some good progress, as has Chris Middlehurst. So there's lots of great drivers in the mix. It's a very talent-packed field here at Brands Hatch, and it's incredible that some drivers that you would expect to be in the top 10 are a little further back, because maybe this circuit suits some drivers better than others. And of course, remember, the drivers are going to be back here in October for the legendary Formula Ford Festival, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see the majority of this field back here once again, because one thing we have to remember is if you win the Formula Ford Festival, as we see Michael Moyes' car being carried away by the snatch vehicle, if you win the Formula Ford Festival and effectively you qualify as what would be a pro class driver in this championship, so you're 25 and under, if you win the festival, you win a shootout ticket to the USF 2000 Scholarship Shootout. So that is very important indeed, and that's how Keith Donegan won not only his ticket to the shootout, but indeed that was the journey that set him off to the victory in that shootout, and now he currently applies his craft in the US, in the USF 2000 series, using that cool $200,000 scholarship prize money to compete in the US to set off his career on the Mazda Road to Indy. So all the drivers weaving from side to side again. We've said this time and time again to keep the temperature and the pressures into the brakes and tyres, as McLaren again getting onto the very aggressive tyre warming strategies. And they're quite durable Formula 4 tyres. They can go through a lot of punishment because they are grooved and treaded tyres, so they don't exactly hold the most amount of grip, and they're very skinny as well. And that's the great thing about Formula Ford, is that because it's a very low grip car, there's no aerodynamics apart from whatever aero the chassis can provide, and very skinny low grip tyres. It means that everything you learn about car control and mechanical grip is invaluable in this championship, so that when you go into the higher formulas like Formula 3, Formula 2, and eventually, if you want to, Formula 1, you can learn all about mechanical grip before you start dialing on aerodynamic aid. So now the safety car lights it out. Neil McLennan gets his turn to control the pace. He will decide when he wants to pull the pin and put his foot down, continuing to weave, but now he's straightened up and goes, right, come with me lads, it's time to get racing once again. And he has really dropped Hugo Bentley Ellis. Hugo was sleeping a little bit, and so is Jamie Thorburn. There's a tiny rub of wheels between Thorburn and Murray. He's very eager to get himself up the inside and back racing again. He wants to make it 3 wins out of 3. as they charge back onto the pit straight. Green flag on the pit straight. We're back to racing again at Brands Hatch, and McLennan's got a brilliant restart. But look at this. Murray's under attack from his teammate, wrapped around Garrido into Paddock Hill Bend. Foster closes up to make a move for 5th position. Thorburn runs wide on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend as they head up towards Druids. McLennan, Bentley Ellis, then Thorburn, back on board with Murray. Through the apex of Druids, down the hill. Foster runs a little bit wide on the exit of the corner. Eastwell also runs wide on his attack as he battles with Orgy and Rory Smith. They've both made some great progress, both of them. Up ahead of Eastwell, and he's down towards the bottom of the top 10 now, about 9th. So after starting near the front of the grid, he's actually lost a few spots in this sequence. He's Nico Gruber attacking Foster now as they come through the apex of Clearways through Clark Curve, and there's a spin for Jonathan Brown. Sends cars scattering every which way. Both Richard Morris and Jack Wolfenden will try and avoid him as best they can. But that was a bit of a hairy moment for Jonathan Brown. As up the inside, look at that, diving up the inside goes Niall Murray. Last minute switch to the inside line and catches Jamie Thorburn completely by surprise. But he knows he's right there to try and counter-attack because he goes down to the inside line to defend the position. But he's held on to 3rd place for the time being, so can he possibly make up a couple more places and take the lead? Well, Gruber's pressuring Foster now. This is over, I think that's 6th position. Up the inside goes Eastwell to repass Roger Orgy as Jonathan Brown tracks his way out of the gravel, back onto the road. And it's tally-ho time for Jonathan Brown because look at the leaders. They're already starting to close in into the right-hander at Clearways. It's still Bentley Ellis from Murray, then Thorburn still in 4th place. And we're back on board with the 2016 champion, 2016 national champion, 2016 Formula Ford Festival champion. He loves this circuit just as much as Foster does, but Foster won't love Nico Gruber, attacking him left, right and centre, down towards the right-hander at Paddock Hill Bend. They swing through, down the hill, 7 of them together. Back on board with Murray, chasing after Bentley Ellis. Is there any way he can get past this youngster? This will be Bentley Ellis' best result if he can just about hold on. Down the hill, someone's off in the background as we see will-to-will with Orgy and Nico Gruber. Oh, it's Foster! Joey Foster out of race 3 at Brands Hatch, throws the steering wheel in disgust. Now, was there contact? He was battling with Nico Gruber. I wonder what's happened. Well, Gruber's dropped down a little bit further down the order because he's behind Rory Smith and Michael Eastwell. So I wonder, has there been contact between Foster and Gruber? Well, whatever's happened, Joey Foster out of this race, he will score no points. And that's a disaster because that will make his championship aspects and his aspirations even worse. Murray then looks to the outside for 2nd place. If we go back towards the leaders, he wants the cut back on the exit of the Kevin Mills Spectrum. Up the hill towards Druids, but Bentley Ellis is defending from the 2016 champion. This is great driving from the youngster. Hugo Bentley Ellis, in his first full season of National Formula Ford, is really impressing here. And Matt Garrido's out of the race too. He's out of the race. That must be mechanical troubles to Ram Garrido. So in what looks to be 2 race weekends in a row, he will not score any points in one race. So 2 of the main protagonists are out in the closing stages of this final race of the weekend at Brands Hatch, and it's a quartet for the lead. Rory Smith's had a superb drive up to 5th position. He's now ahead of Eastwell, Gruber, and I think possibly that might be Michael Eastwell at the back of that mix as well. Down the pit straight, Thorburn wants to try and make a pass on Murray as they turn into Paddock Hill Bend again, but Neil McLennan controls the pace and he leads the way so far. Can he possibly grab his 2nd win of the season as he holds the inside line? Murray closes again. He's staring at the gearbox of Bentley Ellis here, desperate to try and find a way through, but Thorburn is lurking as well. So it's Ray from Spectrum, from Van Diemen, from Ray. 3 different chassis in the top 4 as they head down towards the left-hander at Surtees. Rory Smith's had a storming drive up through the order into 5th position. Murray bumps the curb as he heads into Clearways. Nearly loses the back end as the rear tries to break away. But he's got to try and get as better drive as possible as he can as Wolfenden loses the back end. And Wolfenden's off the road as well. Wolfenden, I think, may get stuck in the gravel, or can he track through? He's deep into the gravel trap, but he brings the car to a halt. And I think he's possibly thinking, that's my weekend over. I may as well park it and go home. Now then, leaders back up the hill towards Druids once again. We're not long to go in this race, and Murray is running out of time and opportunities to get through here for 2nd place. Neil McLennan currently still leads the way. They head back down towards Graham Hill Bend through a left-hander. Bentley Ellis in the white and blue number 38. Murray in the white, blue and orange number 5. We're with him now. And just behind in the blue and white Ray, that's the 2nd of the Cliff Dempsey cars. That is Jamie Thorburn as Murray rides the curbs. He's desperately hounding the back of Bentley Ellis here. He will not let up the pressure one iota. There's yellow flags for the stricken car of Jack Wolfenden as they come back down the pit straight, hugging the white line, and Bentley Ellis is in the slipstream. It's his best possible chance. Murray looks to the outside line as well. They all pile into Paddock Hill Bend together, but still no change in the order, and Thorburn gets himself back into the mix as well. McLennan gets a little bit of breathing space as they come back into Druids. Bentley Ellis defends the inside line. Murray sticks to his gearbox like glue. Likewise Thorburn on Murray. And we're back on board with the Irishman. This is his view. Through Graham Hill Bend, he's agonisingly that little bit quicker than Bentley Ellis through the corners, and he knows it. But there is just no avenue, no opportunity to get through, and Bentley Ellis, really, he's defending without having to defend because it's all Murray that's doing the hard work. Bentley Ellis is holding onto the racing line, and he's forcing Murray to do all the work and get worked up himself. So this will only play into the hands of Jamie Thorburn if Murray makes a mistake, and that is rare. It's rare we see Murray make a mistake as Bentley Ellis looks to the outside line. The last lap ball's been shown. This could be the last opportunity as Bentley Ellis looks to the outside line but has to slot back in because he can't get it done. Can he get the cut back on the exit? He hasn't got enough momentum off Paddock Hill Bend towards Druids. He has to back off, and here comes Murray down the outside line. But no, still he can't get through. Bentley Ellis is driving possibly the race of his life so far. He's attacking for the lead, but also defending like hell for second place. Out of Graham Hill Bend, onto the back straight. Only a couple more opportunities. Murray darts out, trying to distract Bentley Ellis as they swing through Surtees. He's closer than he's ever been before. He tries to throw one possibly up the inside, but there's no room. He can't do it. Will he get an out, drag him across the line? Thorburn looks up the inside for third place, but can he win the drag race? Murray shuts the door, but incredibly, from 8th on the grid to a race win, Neil McLennan wins the final race of the weekend at Brands Hatch. Hugo Bentley Ellis comes in a superb second place. Murray finishes third, just ahead of Jamie Thorburn. Rory Smith with a stonking drive to 5th. From Eastwell, Orgy, Smith, Middlehurst and Rivette rounding out the top 10. Then it's Luke Cooper driving up to 11th from 29th on the grid. Then Melrose, Capazone, Clark, Svensson, Chart, Williams, Monbaron, Jay and Job complete the top 20. Then Street, Morris, Maloney and Brown. What an awesome weekend at Brands Hatch, and a fantastic way to end it with race winner Neil McLennan.
Well, Neil, after a difficult weekend, to round it off with a win, you've got to be happy. That wasn't easy though, was it?
No, very, very tough weekend. It's been up and down really. Had to retire in the first race, so it's made me start 24th in the second, but no, managed to way up to 8th, and then for it to be a reverse grid, managed to put it on pole, so no, it's been a great weekend to finally, have that, so yeah, can't thank Cliff Dempsey Racing enough and all my family to get me here again this weekend, and for all the great work. It's been good.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, Niall, a brace of wins and a third place. It's a pretty decent weekend, but you're going for that win.
Yeah, I was really going for the triple win. I knew this is one of the places that probably my best track. And the yellow flags really just stalemated the race for about 10 minutes. It's kind of disappointing, but look, happy enough to come from 8th to 3rd and only probably 6 or 7 racing laps.
Well, what a fantastic weekend's racing we've had here at Brands Hatch from the Avon Tyres National Formula 4 Championship. Huge congratulations to Niall Murray with his brace of wins and a third place. Please join us next time where all the action comes from Kirkistown in Ireland.